Welcome back to the Spook House. I'm joined yet again by my friend Doug. Say what's
Hello,
up.
hello. What's going on, people? You're in for a wild ride today.
Big day here at the Spook House. This has been a long time coming. There's a lot of hype on the new Scream. Man, I don't even know where to start. But first, I got to ask you real quick. Doug is recording this at his work at the Paramount Theater.
That's correct. Even though there's like 20 Paramounts in America,
Yeah.
this is one of them.
How
Not
old is
yet.
that theater?
We're here since end of 2011.
Now, you're there by yourself right now. Have you ever experienced any haunted type of shit?
Personally, I haven't, but there's this room called the Founders Room. It's like a members only club, and it has like a bunch of speakeasies in it, like Scooby-Doo revolving bookcases and everything. There's a young Frankenstein room with like an old school TV that plays the movie on there. And there's some freaky shit that apparently has happened in there with like ghost sightings and stuff. I haven't personally seen it myself, but it happens.
That's cool.
It's a very old building.
What's the next big show you got coming up?
I have to think about that.
Is it an evening with Garth Brooks?
We got Garthy Bear coming here. He's doing his one-stop suburban shop tour. He's gonna have all the pedophiles ready to go.
Now, do you have to go out and find murder victims for him, or does he have a personal assistant that does that?
That would be you.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to blow your fucking cover over here.
Oh, Garth. Garth was not the killer in Scream, unfortunately.
That would have been an awesome twist.
Hey, you know what? If I'm sure if you're listening to this, maybe you heard our Scream trailer review where we gave our predictions for the movie. Some of our predictions kind of came true.
I actually don't remember what we both talked about.
Remember when we were saying how wouldn't it be crazy if The Rock was Ghostface? You know,
I didn't know you were going to go right into that. I wanted to allude to it, but yeah, actually, yeah, that one came super true.
If they had that like fake trailer in the movie, it wasn't The Rock, but they were so close to saying, yeah, The Rock is Ghostface. And I would have been like, oh my God.
Like they just know what we want. It's like they're in our heads.
Yeah, like they had the sleeveless Ghostface with the chrome mask, you know?
There's this movie, which I think I saw in like 2008 called Laid to Rest.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever saw it, but it's like this,
No.
the villain is called like Chrome Skull.
Huh.
It's a very like metal, edgy horror movie. And the villain's called Chrome Skull, and he has like a fucking chrome mask. It's pretty dope. The movie's not that great, but the mask is really cool.
Huh. That's cool. Yeah, when that image leaked online, people were like, is Ghostface gonna have a chrome mask? What's going on? That's why I avoid all that kind of shit. I mean, I watched your trailer once and I was like, okay, I'm good. That's all I need to see.
That's all you need. The final trailer, the Super Bowl trailer, the commercial spot number 1, 2, and 3 trailer. It's just like enough, especially for like true fans.
Mm-hmm.
You only need to really see it. The marketing is basically, I think, for more geared towards like the casual fan. Because if you say a new Scream movie's coming out, diehard fans are gonna fucking see it. Like, we're not really like, it's cool to see him back in action, but like I would totally rather have it be a complete surprise rather than, get all the glimpses of possibly, big reveals in the trailer, like hints of it.
I agree.
The trailer was really good though. It honestly didn't show anything like too big.
Yeah.
Now that we've both seen the movie.
Yeah. Well, hey, speaking of, we've both seen the movie. Now, here's how I want to do this. There's a lot to take in because, man, they just throw so much at you. And side note, I would hate to be the writer of this movie because you just have so much material. And it's like, well, it's like, what do you pay attention to? How much screen time does this character get? And that, and the OGs mixed with the new people. It's just a lot of information. So we can kind of compartmentalize it, break it down with the good, the neutral, and the bad.
Can't wait to
Now,
see your take on that stuff.
oh man. So
We already texted a little bit about it, but
well, look, disclaimer, I like this movie. I do like it. However, there are some problems with it. And it's okay to talk about those problems. And
absolutely.
people get really, really fucking uptight about this movie. I've just, from what I've seen online, people are like, if you criticize it a little bit, they're like, oh, you don't get it, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
But it's okay for no movie, or very few movies are considered perfect.
yeah.
And with horror movies, there's always that, again, it speaks to the toxic fandom that they were talking about in the movie, which I think, personally, I thought that was a brilliant direction to take it in, because that's where we are now as a society. If you don't like something, or if you criticize something even just a tiny bit, you're a piece of shit and you actually hate the movie. It's like you could like something but also notice its flaws.
Sure.
Like we talked about. You could love a movie. There's plenty of movies, especially the horror movies that we all love, which I think we talked about in every single podcast that we did. That we love these notably horrible movies, but it's just something that we love about it. It's all, at the end of the day, it's mostly subjective, but it's fun to hear the critiques from them.
Yeah. Well, I was telling you that I love Halloween, but I find there's little nits to pick in that movie as well. It's not perfect.
You said in the original.
Yeah, the original Halloween. Oh my God, I said it. It's not a perfect movie. There's some shit acting and some not great stuff in that movie. I mean, I fucking love that movie as it is, but yeah.
But do you love horror movies for the acting? I mean, they have to be able to sell it.
Well,
they have to be able to sell the emotion.
Yeah. Hey, we don't want to get to Melissa Barrera just yet. Just pump the brakes. I didn't want to jump to the bad parts yet. You're getting ahead of it.
We're just going with the flow here, but yeah, you really.
Oh man!
When you texted me the other day, I was like, "Ooh, that hurt. That hurt a little bit."
Boy, that monologue about those diaries. Sheesh.
I'll give you that one.
Dude, when I saw that in the theater, I actually said, I was like, oh no. Ooh. Ew, this is bad.
It was a little, not cringy, I wouldn't say, but a lot of exposition and self-indulgence kind of thing. But
yeah.
I don't know, it made sense to me.
Yeah, she was like, and I found the diary. No, let me finish. I have to tell you what it said. And I do you know who my father was? No, let me finish. I have to say this. I'm like, whoa, what are we doing?
You were probably fucking punching yourself in the knee.
I mean, I didn't let it take me out of the movie. I was like, whoa, a little shaky here. Okay, we're good. Let's get past this. It's kind of like the Evil Dies Tonight stuff. I'm like, oh, that was bad, but you know what? I'm still in it. I'm having fun.
At least you said more than fucking 3 words every 5 seconds.
Yeah. And you know what? Oh, God. We're not even going to talk about Halloween Kills. You bring it up every fucking time.
You brought it up first.
I know. What am I doing?
All right. Back on the track.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the good stuff. We'll start at the beginning. The intro. Good phone call scene. Kind of reminiscent of the first Scream in that Ghostface calls and it's just a normal conversation for a little while. It ramps up to the scary stuff, which they haven't, to my knowledge, they really haven't done like that since the original. So that was cool.
Yeah, it's been more in the sequels. It leaned a little bit more towards the comedy and how wacky things can get, especially with Scream 3, even though Scream 3 was my second favorite until I saw this movie. Scream 3 is great, man. it's just so ridiculous.
You just love the soundtrack. You just love Creed.
Fucking what if?
What if?
We need Scott Stapp should have been Ghostface.
Oh. Now there's a twist. Scott Stapp and Garth Brooks, the duo.
Top 5 people you want to see is Ghostface.
Oh man,
Garth Brooks, Scott Stapp, Dwayne Johnson. But No, the phone call was great, and how they brought it again. Scream has always done so well with the social commentary, and it's not 1996 anymore. It's not 2002. It's not. It's we're in a different era now, and the cool thing about it that they mention all these newer classic horror movies and the elevated horror. It was cool to see them like bring it into the Scream world because they're in our world, but like not really.
Yeah, I figured they would mention that because, like, what else is there to say about the current state of the horror genre? I mean,
Other than the elevated horror stuff, I mean, the whole stuff with like the new Randy, uh, Mindy. I think that's her character name. It might be her real name. I think it's Mindy.
you might be right. There's so many characters. I'm bad at like remembering character names. I might be like, fuckface. What was his name? I don't know.
Face with the big hair.
Hey, this fucking guy.
This fucking character over here talking about garlic and knives. This is how you cut the fucking garlic. But no, she was great. The new Randy where she like explained the requel stuff. I thought it was great. I thought it was again, it was like more of the same, like how they explained the rules in the original Scream, but they just brought it up to another level about what's going on now because things are so radically different. And I don't know, the cat she I think she's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I thought that yeah, she was really good. Jasmine Brown
Yes.
is her name. Yeah, she well, anybody should have been the lead over Sam Carpenter, Melissa Barrera, anybody. I mean, I like the entire cast except her. Jenna Ortega kills it. I thought she was very believable.
Oh yeah, she really sold it. Like the pain that she was going through when she was in the wheelchair, like rolling around, like you felt every time she just went an inch with that wheelchair. She was her facial expressions were just spot on.
Yeah, well, kind of bringing it back to the phone call, like she was really good in all of that. Her emotional distress, if you will.
Yeah, she sold it, and she would. It's hard to live up to the first intro that we were introduced with in Scream, the original. And I think the whole scene held its own. It was scary. There was a lot more like meat to the dialogue.
You know what it could have used though? A good chase. It was all contained in the kitchen. It was like, just run up the fucking stairs, climb out a window, get on the tire swing, fucking go swim across the pool. I don't know.
I mean, she was like 12 years old. There's probably a tire swing.
How old was she in this movie?
They must have been in high school, so I'm gonna guess like 17, maybe. She looked like she was a fetus. Like I'm like, holy shit, her face is going like real hot. Like she like snapped her ankle in half.
Yeah, that was a pretty brutal stomp there.
And it makes sense to the people where I saw some complaints about Ghostface not actually like killing a lot of people, just like hurting them. It makes sense why they wanted to keep her alive.
Well, I don't think it was for lack of trying because you did see the police lights.
Very true.
Yeah, so maybe he didn't have time to, or she have time to finish eye roll. Whoa, no, well, it was definitely Jack Quaid in this because he calls her and shows Amber on FaceTime or whatever.
Yes. Unless it was a pre-recorded video, I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, good opening overall. The only opening I think where the opening scene doesn't end in a death.
Yeah, you're right because Cotton dies in 3.
Our boy Cotton.
Poor Cotton Weary.
Yeah.
He was trying to host a fucking TV show like Jerry Springer style, and then you just get that. Dude, that intro is so good. I watched it the other day again just to refresh my memory.
I want a 100% Cotton shirt. If
it has to be out there somewhere.
Yeah. See if anybody gets it.
One of these, I don't know if anyone's really supporting Cotton Weary like that.
Yeah.
I did tell you there's that. I forgot the shop that has it, but they have like a bomber jacket that's like the top story jacket that Gale Weathers has.
Oh, that's cool.
Fire. Looks so fire.
Nice.
Probably like $200 something, but still awesome.
Probably. And maybe 2 people would ever get it, you know?
Probably.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know who's out here repping Gale Weathers like that or top story.
Yeah. Other positives, good cinematography right off the bat. I mean, compared to Scream 4, anything is good. Man, that movie looks like shit.
It was pretty like I don't know if it was like them color grading it wrong or just not putting any color grade on it, but it just looked stiff.
So before I saw the new movie, they had like this 10-minute featurette with like interviews and clips from the past Scream movies. And when they got to Scream 4 and I saw it like on the big screen, I was like, wow, that looks like epic shit. Like everything has a nice glow to it. It's blown out.
When you compared to the other movies, it just looks like kind of looks like almost like a fantasy.
Yeah.
Like it's not even in the Scream like the Scream world.
Was Wes drunk when he made that decision? What was that about?
Might have had like the first or second AD try his hand at directing, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, good cinematography overall. Some really unique shots, I thought. And at the third act of the movie, when they're at the Stu Macher house, the way they did a lot of the kind of off-center tilted camera angles, they did that a lot in the first one. And that was a subtle nod to the original. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was honestly filmed as if it seemed like Wes Craven directed this from the grave with like those shots where they were twisting and stuff like that. And then you have like those just long shots, not too many cuts, you know, it kind of looked like kind of Birdman-esque with like the one shot, especially when the character of Wes is in the kitchen and they're kind of faking you out with the jump scares. It kind of just like one sweeping motion. And it just felt like you were with the character, which is what Wes Craven did so beautiful and masterfully.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that scene, I think that was my favorite sequence.
Yeah.
Wes Hicks and old Trudy. Is it Judy?
Judy? Trudy?
Deputy Judy.
They are in Ohio, I think. So Trudy would probably be a name that someone in Ohio would.
Okay. Her and her fucking lemon squares.
He loves them lemon squares.
But yeah, I think that was my favorite sequence of the movie. That had the most suspense. And
she was the most expendable character, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least of the core cast, if we're gonna go back to the legacy. I wouldn't consider her a legacy character. I don't know about that because she's in one movie, but she was a main character in 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Great death with our boy Wes Hicks.
And just the ultra meta-ness of him being Wes, them celebrating like the party for him, I guess, in memoriam. They had the 4 Wes.
Yeah.
For him and for Wes Craven. It was just, that was so cool to see.
I thought it was for Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the death of him as Blade and Mahershala Ali taking over. Because you're such a big Marvel fan, you know that Mahershala Ali is going to be Blade. So no more.
Oh wow, new Marvel movie, huh?
Fuck you! I don't even want to talk about it. We're not talking about Halloween Kills.
Well, let me ask you this: out of the 38 new Marvel movies that's coming out this year, which one are you most hyped about?
I'm most excited to see Garth Brooks returning as Iron Man and taking over the mantle. Iron Garth, it's called.
I like that.
I like that thought.
Oh man.
Speaking of, sorry to go off on this tangent, guys.
No, go for it.
I don't know if I meant to text you this, but I forgot. The new 2 Bears, 1 Cave. Bert is clearly delusional.
Like
more delusional than ever.
Yeah, Bert He's got some issues, man. Yeah, I don't know. What was it about? Like, what was he?
Him just going off on a tangent as coming out as fat, and
Oh, yeah.
now when he goes into that, and it's just watching someone like kind of downward spiral.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up when you think about it, but great
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah.
It's pure entertainment.
Yeah. Okay, where were we? Morbius, right? That's the one you're stoked
Yeah, you know
about.
something.
Well, I forgot what movie it was. It was the last movie before Scream that I saw. It was like Eternals trailer, then Morbius, then Spider-Man. I'm like, what the fuck? How many of these goddamn things are there?
The train's gonna keep going, baby. You know why?
I bet.
It's brilliant writing, brilliant
Well,
stories.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I did hear a fun statistic that Marvel movies brought in like 30% of all box office last year.
They're single-handedly saving the movie industry or the theater experience. And also, by the way, let's also mention that Scream is number one this weekend, 36.4 million, I believe I saw, dethroned Spider-Man.
Nice.
So that's something.
Hey, there you go. Man, I tell you, I can't believe that the 9th reboot of Spider-Man got knocked out by Scream. That's crazy.
It was an original fucking story.
Okay. How many fucking Spider-Mans have there been?
A lot.
A lot, yeah. Okay, we won't get into it, but
we have to do this on another episode.
Yeah. Okay, other good moments. To talk more about the cast, I really like Jack Quaid. I mean, I kind of hated that he was a killer because, I really liked him. They could have brought him back in the sequel.
But it was cool to watch Jack Quaid do something they could have. He doesn't really get like gritty roles like that. Even in The Boys, he's kind of like this innocent, sheepish type of character. When he like flipped the switch in the third act of this movie, it was like, all right, okay, like he really plays crazy and psychotic pretty damn good. And also, I don't know what your thoughts on Amber is, but I think she was also a great accomplice. I know what you think about the one thing. Yeah, 90-pound teenager.
Oh man. Hey, well, you know what? Let's save that one. We'll keep talking about Jack for now. But yeah, he was, when he turned the corner, he was definitely believable. He had some very funny moments. I really liked the moment with him and Jasmine Brown, the new Randy, when he was like, "I'll be right back," and they're like, that was a good moment.
Also, every scene where they kind of referenced like who the killer, like who the possibility of the killer is, there was always that, like, I don't know, the tension that the characters had were great because everyone was kind of on edge, not really knowing who's the killer and who they should be afraid of and whatnot. And like when Amber and Mindy went down to the basement, and you kind of almost believed for a second that Mindy was going to be the killer, but then she was like, "Oh no, I'm just kidding. Give it a test." Yeah, that was great. And I don't know. I thought Jack Quaid was pretty believable as an innocent, as the innocent person who's not the killer.
Yeah. More of the cast. We got Chad. He was good. I mean, it's pretty good.
Oh yes. The jock character,
football guy. His death was wait. He didn't die, right?
No, he lived.
Oh, okay.
So did Mindy, because he was in the back of the when Mindy was getting taken out. I think it was Tara. When she was getting taken out of Stu's house, he was in the back of the ambulance giving the thumbs up.
Okay, I must have missed that. But his almost death was really cool. The way they shot that, it was clearly a homage to Casey Becker. Like the chase and the running up behind him. So.
And that scene was filmed great, and the lighting in it was also great.
Yeah,
and it was pretty. Ghostface was really brutal in this movie. I think just because they're not as like the once the killers are revealed, they have a lot of energy. They're younger people, they don't really know anatomy that well, so they probably think they're killing them, but they don't know what they're
Hmm.
stabbing. Like when uh Chad, that's his name.
Yeah, Chad.
He gets yeah, of course. He gets stabbed like in the gut. Probably didn't hit any major arteries, which is why he survived.
Hmm. Yeah, good point. I can't believe they wasted. I forgot his name. He was like Stu's nephew or something. A clear red herring. He gets in the little scuffle with Chad at the bar. You know what I'm talking about? The guy in the muscle car gets killed in the parking lot.
Yes, yes. And he was Kyle Gallner. He is like a known actor, which is surprising why he was only used for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him.
He was in the shitty Nightmare on Elm Street remake,
Yep.
Haunting in Connecticut, Red State. He was in a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they could have used him a bit more in the movie, just to kind of throw everybody off the chase a little more.
Yeah, and I will say just straying away from the positives of this movie, one of the issues I had is that it honestly could have been a little longer. They could have added some scenes or extended some scenes here and there just so we could live with the newer characters a little bit more, or give some more screen time to the legacy characters, because they could have added something else with Kyle Gallner into believing that like he has something to do with it possibly.
Yeah, you don't really spend a whole lot of time with most of the characters other than the sisters and maybe David Arquette. And yeah, they could have added like 15-20 minutes of just getting to know these people, so it did feel a bit rushed overall.
I want to know, do you feel like they like the legacy characters got enough time on the screen? Were you happy with how they used them?
David Arquette, yes. The other two, not really. They almost seem like an afterthought. Nev Campbell and
Understandable.
Courtney Cox.
Right.
Who I didn't hate. I did not hate Courtney Cox in this movie. I was like, she's not bad. She's doing her Gail Weathers thing. It's what she does. It's what she does, baby.
She is the epitome of Gail Weathers. No, her and Dewey had the best stuff in this movie for sure. I think once you see David Arquette on the screen in this movie, you're like, oh, this is. I don't know. I don't know if it was like intuition. I'm like, this is his fucking movie. Like, you see like what he's been through just from the way he looks.
Yeah,
like he was just like beat down.
He's my MVP of the movie. I really enjoyed David Arquette in this movie.
Dude, David Arquette is a good actor.
Yeah.
Ready to Rumble, classic.
Did you know that he is a certified Bob Ross instructor?
I did read that today, actually.
And he would teach the cast how to paint like Bob Ross in between, just hanging out on set and stuff. I want to paint with David Arquette.
Dude, right? I feel like he does a lot of conventions. There has to be some day where he gets booked for a convention and they have like a VIP party or whatever, and he just teaches everyone how to fucking paint. That would be wonderful.
Sign me up. I'll do it.
And then he fucking suplexes you into a table because somehow he's a wrestler.
Yeah. So yeah, David Arquette, he gets my MVP award of the movie. And while we're on David Arquette, let's go ahead and talk about his death. Oh man.
One of the best deaths in the Scream franchise. I'm sorry.
It was after the killer reveal and I had to put 2 and 2 together, I was like, fucking really? Okay, let's pause that for now. But yeah, it was a good death scene. The showdown in the most vacant hospital in the world. That was what is this, Halloween 2?
I literally, dude, it must be a horror movie thing because they go to these. I don't know if it's a bad neighborhood and there's not a lot of, if it's like short staffed, or they're filming during the pandemic in real time, so they're also short staffed. But there's no hospital workers in any of these hospitals.
Yeah.
Like on the
No,
whole floor, really? No
there's
doctors, surgeons, anybody?
what? No other patients. She was the only patient.
For real. It was
What
like
the
a
fuck?
private wing of the hospital.
There was
But,
one
again,
cop that got his throat slit, and that's it. It's like, okay, come on.
and it was a cop. It wasn't even a front desk woman or man or something.
Yeah. And not to go there, but they filmed this in Wilmington, North Carolina, same place they
Oh,
filmed Halloween Kills. And compared to that hospital where it was like a fucking crowd at a football game in the hallways, like, I mean, when you compare the two, it's like, I mean, hey, it's suspension of disbelief. It's a movie, right? So,
exactly. Kind of got to take ourselves out of some of the stupidity at least.
yeah.
There
But
are some like, I wouldn't, not plot holes, obviously, but there's some like shit that you're like, she got this, whatever, Judy Hicks got killed out in broad daylight and no one saw it? Like at
yeah,
all?
yeah, true.
It was a rad death scene, but like no one just like, walking around the neighborhood or the neighbors looking out their window. Like it must have been like a busy work day for everyone to be at work.
Yeah,
But
that's
again,
true.
suspension of disbelief.
That was a good moment though.
It was,
Total
great.
surprise moment. I mean, you're only focused on her getting into the house and getting upstairs, and you know,
It was it
so
was it was a good surprise.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, Dewey's death scene that that hit me pretty hard. Uh, the whole, I mean, maybe people saw it coming by the way it was filmed because like he does like the whole, basically sacrifices himself for Tara, Sam, and I guess Jack Quaid to get downstairs in the elevator, and he was like, and I love how they call back to the scene in Scream 3 where he's like, "You got to go for the head," or they come back.
oh, that was the first one, or they say that in the first one, right? Yeah, Randy says that in the first one.
Oh yeah, you're right. They say in the
Yeah,
first, I think they say in all of them, maybe.
yeah, they say it in all of them. Yeah,
But yeah, great callback to that line, and I know you're gonna have a lot to say about
oh
this
man,
because of who it was, but the way it happened, and
yeah,
also a good commentary on how we're so distracted by our phones. I think in that little moment,
oh
he was
yeah.
like, "Oh shit!"
Don't text and fight serial killers, kids.
Exactly. Leave it on silent.
Yeah, put it on silent.
You don't want any
Murder.
distractions while you're trying to murder a 90-pound teen.
Exactly. Thus bringing me to my next gripe. You're fucking telling me that Amber, there was even the one scene where she goes to stab him and they do like the test of might, you know.
Yeah.
David Arquette would backhand her through that reception desk so fast. Okay.
But also, he has been through a lot of shit. He was stabbed 9 times. He might be weaker. He's older.
I don't
She's
care.
younger. She might have a lot more strength, especially the psychotic strength.
No.
No.
I'm sorry. Fucking Billie Eilish is not going to kill Dewey like that. Get the fuck out of here. And she even picks him up, like stabs him in the front and the back. Doesn't she like lift him off his feet? Or
I'm going to see it again this week just for a refresher because I feel like I've sat with it enough and I need to watch it again just to pick up on the subtle hints now that we know the reveal. I don't remember her lifting him up. I remember
he was on his
doing,
tiptoes.
like that ultimate like melee kill.
He was on the tiptoes, I think. And even then, it's like not buying it. Sorry.
They probably should have made it Jack Quaid just to make it a little more believable. But the way that shot when Dewey has both knives in his gut and his back, and she goes, "It's an honor," and just releases it, and his guts fall all over the floor, and she's standing over him.
That was a cool shot.
With that shot.
That was the coolest shot of the movie.
Yeah, easily. I think one of the best. I know you're not a fan of the reveal of the killer, but I think one of the best scenes.
Yeah, I mean, as
a whole.
Yeah, as is. Yeah, it's definitely one of the best scenes in any of the Scream movies.
What did you think about Emma Roberts though in Scream 4?
Not a fan. Sorry.
Okay, thought so.
Cringy as fuck. It's all about Sydney.
Yeah, they should have casted you instead.
Jeez.
She was believable though. She seems like a stuck-up diva type of character.
God, I wish they would release. I like Scream 4. I mean, for what it is, it's a solid sequel. I wish they would release a version of that movie where it just looks like a normal fucking movie. I am so distracted by how shitty it looks. It takes me out of the movie.
Yeah, it looks like they filmed that whole movie on a back lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like real filming locations.
They filmed. I think they filmed it with like a flip phone or something.
They went like Steven Soderbergh on it. Used like a fucking the NV2 to pick up the extra shots.
Use a razor.
Actually, good call because a razor is a knife that cuts.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, I gotta ask
you a meme there.
I gotta ask you about this. When Jack Quaid is on the computer, you see on the when he's watching YouTube, you see some side links. There's one where it's like an interview with Kirby. So Kirby in this universe is confirmed to be alive. Kirby from Scream 4.
Yeah.
So
Hayden Panettiere.
So there's that, and there's also a link that says, "Is Stu Macher still alive?" It's like a video about. It's like a conspiracy video if he's still alive.
Did you think he was going to show up in this movie?
If he did, I would have so been on board for that. Oh, like why not? Here's my ideal. All right, we're gonna kind of move into our gripes with the movie, but we'll get some good discussion out of it. Okay, so I think they could have brought back Stu. In my ideal world, the two killers would have been Stu and Jack Quaid as Stu's son. So why not? That would have been fucking cool. I think
they would have to have a whole backstory about what happened to Stu after he got smashed in the head with
okay, they can do that.
You think they would, because he would be a convicted felon. He would be in jail. There would probably be no way that he has sex with a woman and has a child, unless he has an illegitimate kid like
apparently Billy did it.
Yeah. It would be cool. I don't think with this version of the story, having Stu come back would have made sense, because it was more about going back to like Billy Loomis being that like really driving force of the first one. Stu is more the accomplice, but obviously it would have been cool if we got another alternate universe here. If Stu, if we see him kind of like still recovering in like a mental facility or something like that, kind of locked up and kind of like escapes or something like that.
Or he gets released on some technicality or some shit. Who you can explain that? Come on. If they can bring back CGI fucking Billy Loomis,
fucking look like a Party City mask that he had on that was glued to his face. They should have just did old man Billy. They should have just had him in just regular Skeet Ulrich, looking grizzled,
Yeah, I mean, Skeet's a handsome older dude. Just bring back Skeet. Like, why do you gotta
explain it? Like, we already know it's Billy. You don't need to make him fucking looking like a high school student,
Okay, the whole thing was totally unnecessary. I just thought that was dumb. I'm sorry. Like,
it was cool they brought Skeet back.
I'm happy that Skeet got the work. He's a good dude. Totally happy for him. Nothing against him, but story-wise, it was fucking stupid.
The visions were a little corny.
It was very corny.
Like seeing him in the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly,
or towards the end of the movie where he looks at Sam and he's like, "Come on, you can do it."
It's like the weird mentor, like dad figure.
Yeah.
But also, I like how it kind of sets up her being like a potential threat if they're going to continue the trilogy. Weird that they would try to humanize Billy Loomis a little bit.
Yeah, they almost made you like try to sympathize for Billy or like, yeah, Billy's a good guy. You know?
could sympathize with Billy a little bit, even the first one when you find out the motive, the lengths he goes, just because his mom, Sydney's mom, and his dad had an affair. A little much.
Yeah, a little
Didn't
much.
have to go that far, but you could
much.
understand why he would be so hurt.
I mean, I would be bummed out for a day or two, but I wouldn't, plan a series of murders.
No, not at all, because your future is kind of fucked after that, as we saw with a bullet in his head and blood flying everywhere. But when you have that, I guess that some people just have that, chemical imbalance that makes them snap or turn into a serial killer. I don't think Stu was ultimately like that. I don't think he was. I think he gets a bad rap because Billy seems like he was more of the mastermind, and Stu was kind of just following along. Obviously, something wrong with him, but not. I feel like he could be kind of like the Lenny figure, I guess, kind of like that, like dumb, dim-witted person that will, just do anything to get a friend from Of Mice and Men. If you didn't know who Lenny was.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but
Right.
good point. Good point. And I thought that Jack Quaid put out some very Stu-like vibes.
Yes.
So I thought that's what it was going to be. They were going to, like, if you're going to have the finale of the movie take place at Stu Macher's house, it's got to, like, what the fuck? Like, bring Stu back. Come on.
That's what I think. And I think that's the whole thing with the, again, the sometimes taking fandom too far, because there were all these theories that Stu's going to be back. Stu's the killer. Look at how he's arching his back in that one picture. It looks like him in the Scooby-Doo movie when he's playing Shaggy.
Oh, in our background here?
Correct, exactly.
Yeah.
He's actually Amber.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Your favorite. And then when it doesn't happen, I feel like if it doesn't meet someone's, specific visions of how they see the movie, then they get disappointed. But not your movie. If you want to make a movie, be in the position to make a movie, work to do it.
Are you telling me, Doug, are you fucking telling me you'd rather have, drum roll, Amber as the killer? Like, when it was revealed that Amber was the killer, I said in the theater.
We had completely different reactions because I was like, oh shit.
Was anybody like, yeah, Amber? Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, this character that I've barely known for an hour?
Yeah, she had 4 minutes of screen time. Cool.
It's cool how they set up, because if they're going to do more movies.
They are.
Then they totally should. These characters are not annoying. They could carry them. They could carry the franchise. And it's cool how I think it was nice that Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox got such little screen time.
Hey now.
That was just an unintentional brain typo there, but it works. Because they ushered in the new characters perfectly, because you kind of get used to seeing them, and they had the way they were written, they had all the right personality traits of what you've come to love from a Scream movie personality. They could carry a movie, and just seeing the legacy characters at the end just like put the nail in it. You're like, okay, we don't completely need these characters to fall in love with the Scream movie, because I love this movie. I absolutely I love the new characters. I love this movie. It's my second favorite. I want to know your Scream ranking too.
I'm going to need another rewatch. I wanted to rewatch it before this podcast, but the more I think about it, the more I do like it. Like, when I left the theater, I'm so glad I didn't have to come home and jump on here, because I'd be like, I don't fucking know. Anytime I see a big movie like this and there's so much information, I'm like, I need 2-3 days, process it, let it digest.
That's how you felt about Halloween Kills, because I remember we texted after and you were like, I don't know how I feel about it.
I kind of still don't. I go back and forth in my head. I need to give a rewatch to that one too. You might be getting in my head a little bit.
You know what? Fucking let's do a watch along of that. I'll watch it.
Okay. we'll review the extended cut that just came out,
Hey,
which I hear is better. I've heard a lot of people say that, you know,
I'm not too jaded where I'm not willing to give it another chance.
I don't know. You seem pretty jaded. You shit on it every chance you get.
Because I'm an asshole.
Hey, it's what we do with Strong Island, baby.
516-631 represent Long Island iced teas and fucking bagels.
Is that the thing? Bagels?
I had a bagel this morning. I had to pick poppy seeds out of my teeth before this podcast.
Nice.
You miss it if you haven't had a New York bagel.
I'll have to try one sometime. Okay, another gripe I had. Some of the dialogue was pretty fucking cringy. I thought it was overly meta. There was too much commentary. There were a lot of scenes where it just wasn't believable that these characters were saying this thing. It's kind of like I said in our trailer review. If it's not coming from Randy, it kind of loses. I'm like, I don't believe you. I believe Randy because he's that guy. But 17-year-old kid talking about in detail the state of the horror genre, I'm like, you don't fucking know that. You know?
I totally get what you're saying because there's no like you get a little bit of a peek into Randy's life. He works in a video store. They kind of set him up as the nerdy type.
Mm-hmm.
Randy is their uncle, so she kind of has that nerdiness in her.
I believed her, but the scene where they're all sitting around with Dewey in the living room and fucking Chad and Wes and everybody's talking just nonchalant about horror and stuff. I'm like, you don't fucking like get out of here.
But
not buying it. Sorry.
I think they do because if they know the history of the Stab movies and what happened in Woodsboro, they have to be a little intrigued by it to do like their research. And she seemed like the person when they're talking about toxic fandom. She was the legitimate embodiment of film Twitter. Talking about like the Mary Sues and just people going hard on reboots and requels and remakes and everything. Like there's a lot of people like us who like love researching film and talking about it.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. Like you didn't particularly buy it from them, but I don't know. I did like it. All of that. It was. One character has to be that. At least they picked the right actress to do it because she really put her. I don't know. I believed it. She put her full range of emotion in that.
Yeah, that's a good point about they're from Woodsboro, so they would have more knowledge on that particular film. Okay, I buy that, but. Like Jenna Ortega at the beginning, she's talking about elevated horror and this. Okay. And when she shoots Amber in the head, this line made me roll my fucking eyes. She's like, I still like Babadook. You wouldn't say that in that moment.
No, you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't.
I wanted to stand up and say, we get it. It's a Scream movie, okay? Just be a fucking movie, okay? Stop. It got to be a little heavy-handed, a lot of the meta conversation, and it's like I get it, yeah. Just carry on with the movie. Be a fucking movie. Stop.
Yeah. Like we already know as Scream fans, it's meta. You don't have to spoon feed it to us. Yeah. I'm with you on that. The Babadook line was a little. You don't need to have a
fucking stupid
comedic line right there. Kind of undercuts the gravity of the seriousness of the situation. Like with Sydney in Scream 4 when she's like, "Don't fuck with the original." That's Scream 4.
I don't know. Have to get back to you on that.
But that line, it's a great line.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give her that one. Yeah.
I hate when and Marvel does this a lot of times, and I don't like it. When there's something serious going on, there's high stakes, and someone throws like a joke out. I'm like, Really? Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
fucking say that. You wouldn't say that there. Like, come on. But again, I'm being a toxic fan right now because I'm like, fuck that.
Oh
So
my God. You're going to go out and murder fucking, I don't know. Who's the new Spider-Man this week? Who's playing him?
Garth Brooks.
Oh, yeah. You're going to murder Garth. Yeah. Well, it is a Scream movie. And man, I really need to give this a rewatch because
What's your rating of it right now? What
on
or
a,
actually give as it stands right now, what's
on a
your ranking of your favorite Scream movie? Without
oh man. Uh, the original, of course. Uh, either this one or 4, then 2 and 3 for me. But
wow, I thought you would put 4. The way you talk about 4, it sounds like you absolutely hate it.
I mean, minus it looking like hot shit, it's not a bad movie.
No, not at all. The story and I like 4 because they took it a lot more. They kind of strayed away from the more comedy angle of it and made it more of like a
Yeah, it
scary
was a little
murder
more.
mystery type of thing.
Yeah, it was a little more serious in tone. I feel like, and there were only. There's another thing we said in their review. I was like, of course they're going to be meta and commentate on the horror genre, but only have it to 1, maybe 2 characters. Like that's their thing. Not everybody in the fucking movie. That was my problem with it. I think.
So just 2. Every character was kind of like in on the joke.
Yes. It's like, get it.
Right.
Heard.
We're gonna rewatch it again this week, and we're gonna talk about it probably even more in depth. But with those points in mind, I'm definitely gonna watch it with that in the back of my head. Because sometimes when you see a movie offhand, you're just so pumped to see Ghostface back on the screen, and you kind of have. And when you go rewatch it, you kind of have that excitement kind of fade because you saw it already for the first time, and now you're like really breaking it down in your mind when you watch it the second time. So I'm looking forward to seeing it again.
Yeah, I might like it more the second time. I feel like I will, look, overall, I was very much entertained. I was engaged the entire time. It was a fun watch. I mean,
could have been a little longer. It was only an hour and 54 minutes. They could have stretched it out to even 2:15.
Yeah,
just to extend a couple more moments, to really like you said, you did say it was a little rushed, and I do agree in some aspects of it. They could have added just a little more.
Well, when you have 45 characters, you need a little bit longer of a runtime.
Try watching Avengers.
No thanks. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm a fucking sheep. I don't care.
Is there a new one of those coming out?
Like 38, there's fucking 38 Marvel movies coming out. Of course
that's true. I'm sure there's gonna be like grown men doing trailer reactions and crying. Like
I'm gonna be jerking off in the movie.
I saw one for the new Spider-Man, a trailer reaction, and this dude was like crying. It's like, dude, get it together. There's gonna be a new one next month. Like
like the movie hasn't even come out yet. Come on.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's like, okay.
That's guaranteed. If that movie didn't live up to his standards, he would have been knocking on Kevin Feige's door with an AK-47.
Okay, so what would you like to see out of Scream 6? Scream 2?
Scream 2.
What are they gonna call it? It's gonna get really confusing.
They should have just called this shit Scream 5.
They should have, because if you're gonna call it Scream, this felt totally like a Scream sequel. It picked up right after 4. And if you're gonna just call it Scream, you got to do something completely different and do a fresh new thing.
And that's the whole meta-ness of it that they were trying to be like really clever with. But again, it, like you said, it just gets confusing because when you say Scream, now you have to say the original Scream or Scream 2022. It just sounds lame. It's just like there's no differentiating between All of them.
Yeah, I guess Scream 5 just doesn't look as appealing as Scream, you know?
Well, they did it in 1996, so they got to be more clever than that. They could do
Yeah.
Scream with like 5 M's or something. I don't know.
Well, what would you like to see in Scream, whatever they're going to
The next
call it?
Scream. You just
Yeah.
do it.
Hey, my lights are flickering. I hope my power doesn't go out. So
I
that's
did just
cool.
see that. Hopefully, this video saves.
Oh my God, it better.
This 55 minutes of pure gold.
Yeah, we're having like a winter storm right now. So there's ice.
It's like 15 degrees over here.
Oh, damn.
Pretty icy outside. But
Well, anyways, what would you like to see out of the new Scream?
New Scream. I mean, I really love the new characters. I'm looking forward to seeing them being fleshed out a little more now that they kind of offed some of the legacy characters. Kind of, bring them up to speed, give them a little more to do.
Did you like Melissa Barrera as Sam Carpenter?
I liked her. I didn't think. Listen, if Nev Campbell's gonna pass the torch to her,
not to her. My God.
What was so bad about her? Please describe.
Dude,
the soap opera monologue where she was talking
about. That was so bad.
Because she was in The Heights. She's like a great new star. I think she has a lot of potential.
I thought Jenna Ortega acted circles around her. I totally bought Jenna Ortega. Compared to her, I just thought she was very flat. I didn't buy her. Like, she just didn't like have the emotional range as an actor. I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh, but I just didn't buy her at all.
She was. I mean, you're not entirely. I don't entirely disagree with you. Jenna Ortega, light years, surpassed Melissa. What's her last name?
Barrera.
By
the way, she got that job through a Zoom audition, and she only read with Jenna Ortega over Zoom, and then they hired her. So when she got on set to start filming, that was like the first time they'd met in person.
Wow, interesting.
And I feel like there is I'm not an actor, obviously, but I would assume that you need to have that human interaction to see how they bounce off of this person and that person and how they react to things. And I feel like the directors didn't have the balls to be like, hey, this isn't going to work.
They totally could have, though. Maybe they just really believed in her.
Hey, maybe they were like, it's gonna get better.
I do agree, though, and they're checking their fucking clocks, like, all right, when's it gonna get better? No, but I think because, and honestly, there's not a lot of super top-notch acting in the Scream franchise either. Even in I mean, I love the original; it's perfect to me. It's one of my favorite movies, not even horror movies of all time. Nev Campbell isn't outstanding.
Sure.
Hitchcock isn't outstanding in it. I'm willing. I want to give her. I hope they give her another shot. So maybe she could delve deeper into her character a little more. Maybe get a little bit more of an edge to her character, just like Sydney has gotten over the years. Be a little bit more smart. But if they go with Jenna Ortega as the new Sydney, that would be better, I think, because she knocked it out of the fucking park. She, whatever she's doing was great.
Yeah.
And Mindy.
I will say in the last half of the movie, I liked Sam Carpenter, cool name, a little bit more. I wonder who they named that after.
The Cool Guy Club.
Hey, it's John Carpenter's birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday, John fucking Carpenter.
He ain't watching.
Good old Jesus Christ.
I feel like John Carpenter just He's just such a grump.
John Carpenter like hates his movies.
Yeah, I have a feeling he fucking hates horror movies. Like he hates Halloween. He just seems like a grump.
Did you see? Did you see In Search of Darkness, that like 80-hour documentary of all the 80s horror movies?
I did not actually. I've been meaning to watch it.
Really good. They go through a whole lot, but there's a lot of segments of John Carpenter talking about his movies, and the way he talks about his movies, it's like he doesn't even realize they're classic, and he's like, "Yeah, The Fog, it's whatever. Like, I don't really care. Like, it kind of sucks, but whatever." I'm like, "Damn, it's kind of a classic, but okay."
Yeah,
you're the creator of these.
If he watched this movie, I bet when he found out that her name was Sam Carpenter, he just rolled his fucking eyes and was like, "Oh god."
And the only reason why he likes the new Halloween franchise is because he gets a fucking paycheck in the mail, and that's about it.
You're probably right. So happy birthday, John. Hope it's a good one.
Can't wait to meet you at a convention.
Can't wait to pay $800 for you to roll your eyes and scribble your name. He's gonna write to Doug, "Get lost, fuckface."
Like, Halloween Kills was amazing. Signed, John Carpenter. The classic of the century.
Oh man. So
but yeah, Jenna Ortega being the new Sydney would be cool. It would be cool to get like a Stu angle and for Kirby to come back, kind of like those confirmed characters. Well, not confirmed. Kirby's confirmed. Stu, kind of, it would be cool to see them theorize about that, kind of get like a whole backstory on Stu, because Matthew Lillard does not get enough work. Like, just give him something to do.
I feel like they're going to bring him back. Now, of course, everybody said that about this one, but why would they drop the little Easter egg in there? And I don't think they literally mentioned his name in this movie, other than you're at Stu Macher's house. But there was all this talk about Billy this and Billy that, and I'm Billy's daughter, and I found the diary, and all that shit. It's like, what about Stu?
No, she was too busy being on Days of Our Lives.
That's what it felt like as the world turns.
Sometimes, I don't know how you feel about monologues, like those really elongated monologues. It's obviously like I wouldn't say borderline self-indulgent type of thing, because sometimes movies and shows call for it, but it just doesn't, like Midnight Mass. I don't know if you've seen Midnight Mass. It's a great show. Mike Flanagan, who did Haunting of Hill House. It's all monologues. And I'm watching it and I'm like, this is not how people communicate.
Yeah.
Form like monologues like that. But it was great writing. But like, I totally get where, that scene which you talk about diaries, it could have been a little more of a back and forth, or maybe she could have sold, in your mind, she could have sold it a little better.
I crouched into my seat. I was like, the cringe was overpowering me. And I was like, I'm melting. Oh, fuck. It was so bad, dude.
Turning into a puddle of shit right now.
Yeah. But I will say, when she stabbed Richie to death, that was cool. And I liked her a little more in the second half of the movie. A little bit. But.
Okay, that's something. You're willing to give it another chance.
I don't want to see her as the new Sydney main actress. I know. But
it seems like they're going in that direction just because she's Billy Loomis's illegitimate daughter.
Yeah, I know. And people are all like, "Oh, they're setting her up to be the new killer." And I'm like,
we're going to see Ghost Billy Loomis versus Stu Macher.
Yeah, they're going to have a CGI ghost battle.
It's going to be like the Venom of Scream movies.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like CGI fucking rubber fighting each other.
Like Tatum and everybody, and Randy's going to show up. It's just going to be a Royal Rumble of everybody that's got killed.
Royal Rumble. You know what? I'm with it. Let's just go fucking wacky. Jason went to space. Let's do it. Let's do a paranormal Royal Rumble.
They're going to have a wrestling ring in the center of Woodsboro High Gymnasium. Like, by God, it's Tatum.
They're gonna get Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler to commentate. It's Tatum. It's Tatum.
Watch out! She's got a mean right hook.
It's gonna be a screamer knocker.
Oh man, you hearing this? What are their fucking names? The guys that wrote the movie.
Radio Silence. I just
Yeah,
know the Lakers.
yeah. Radio Silence. Guys that did Ready or Not.
Yeah, that's what they're known as. One of the writers, though, he did write Zodiac, which is one of my favorite movies.
Wait, I thought David Fincher wrote that.
He was one of the David Fincher directed it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Same, so good. Such
really. Do you want like? I subscribe to the Zodiac subreddit. I know weird minor details of that whole case. Like I get obsessed with it, and I'll go down rabbit holes sometimes.
It's my favorite serial killer. If I
yeah.
I went to the New Orleans
favorite. It's
most interesting. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Because boy, if there's one thing I fucking hate about the horror world, it's the serial killer worship. Go fuck yourself. My God. Ted Bundy's so hot. You need help. How about
also,
that?
He looks like a 50-year-old man when he was 25.
Yeah. Oh my God. The way he like murdered and raped women was so fucking cool. Let me buy a goddamn shirt with him.
I have a Zodiac shirt.
That's, well, I don't know. The Zodiac, there's something different about the Zodiac case. I'm not saying like, celebrate the guy, but the case is very intriguing. So point being, if you ever want to do a deep dive Zodiac episode where we figure out who the Zodiac is, I'm down.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm so ready for that.
Yeah. So Scream 6.
Well, what do you want to see?
Stu Macher. Got to bring back Stu. Just give the people what they want.
Just as the toxic fandom Bible says, do what the fans want. The fans
there you go. First scene. Melissa Barrera picks up the phone. Oh, I like where this is going.
And then, you know what? Fuck the ghost face mask. Just have Stu just come out of the kitchen.
Yeah, there you go.
So let's see.
Yeah, I don't know, but I definitely think they are going to do a sequel because this one is crushing it right now at the box office.
Dethrone your beloved Spider-Man.
Yeah, and hey, I'm happy for that. Bring it on. Why not?
I feel like the more, if we're going to keep reviving these classic horror icons, Halloween, I believe the studio just got the rights back to Friday the 13th, like the original creators.
Man, that's a series that I really want a new Friday the 13th. Like that's the only franchise that's just, well, that and Nightmare on Elm Street. Everybody else has, Leatherface is coming back.
It's like the prequel of the prequel of the prequel. It's like Leatherface when he's a toddler in nursery school.
Hey, 12th time's the charm, right?
But yeah, like Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake was dead in the water. The 2009 remake of Friday the 13th was god awful, in my opinion. We need some new blood injected in there, pun intended.
You know what? Friday the 13th remake, it's not as bad as people think. If that movie came out today, there would be like way more love for it, I think. That came out in 2009 when everything was being remade. So everybody was like, oh, another fucking remake. Here we go. So a lot of people kind of dismissed it. Like, I'm not saying it's an amazing movie, but it gives you what you want,
Does it though?
Jason was badass, killing people in creative ways.
But it kind of just ties everything. It's like, oh, let's take pieces from each Friday the 13th movie that already exists and shove it all into one and make these characters highly annoying and super unlikable.
Have you seen literally any Friday the 13th movie ever?
There's cool characters in there.
I mean, yeah, but there's not like, Daniel Day-Lewis isn't up in there. Like,
I didn't say the actor, I said the characters.
Giving the performance of a lifetime.
Daniel Day-Lewis in My Left Shoe and Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we get new Friday the 13th.
What movie, what like old horror movie that what would you want to see remade? Doesn't even have to be like a franchise, just a movie that you've seen, you love, but could probably use a little more modern technology and better story.
Hmm.
There's plenty out there
I
that
don't.
they don't choose from.
This movie is perfect as is, but Night of the Creeps could be kind of fun. I just
Interesting choice.
love that movie. It would never live up to the original,
No,
and people would lose their shit. But I'd be like, okay, well, if they do a good job, cool.
but
I'm
it
on
is a
board.
cool concept, and
Yeah.
you're never gonna live up to Tom Atkins, like that, like hard nosed cop type of character. He's just so great in that movie. But
Yeah.
I could see it. You know what? I would take a remake over one of those movies like Night of the Creeps rather than an other Halloween or an other Scream or an other Friday the 13th. We've seen it so many times.
Hmm.
Like let's bring like those older movies into modern times because it will force people to go back to the original and see how great that was and give those some love.
Yeah. Hey, we got Halloween ends, baby. October of this year.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that it's coming out. So
Yeah, I wish I can be neuralized like Men in Black and just forget the whole entire
God,
franchise.
jeez, motherfucker.
Listen, I'm going to see it anyway. I'm going to
God,
buy a ticket opening night. It's really, you have to see it, but if to properly talk shit on something, you got to see it, and I want to properly talk shit, so I'm going to gladly see it. We should totally do a rewatch of Halloween Kills.
Okay.
Totally down for it. Maybe I could have my mind changed. I don't know.
Yeah. I would love to see a cut of that movie where they don't talk about Evil Dies Tonight.
Yeah, that'd be great. I don't know how they're
I
going to.
mean, or not mention every 5 minutes that 40 years ago this thing happened.
And then shoehorn another scene in that wasn't in the original and try to make you care for characters that they just made up. Would love that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. Imagine in this new Scream, though, if they were like, 25 years, Dewey, blah, 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 25 years.
And that's what makes the Scream franchise better than the newer Halloween franchise. To me.
I disagree, but okay. Everybody's got their opinions.
I respectfully say you're fucking wrong.
Oh my God. Oh, did you like the way Amber burst into flames comically at the end of the movie? Tell me you didn't laugh at that shit. I was like, now I know she got hit with a bottle of hand sanitizer. Okay.
I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking dumb, but I'll forgive it because the rest of the movie was great.
I thought the Benny Hill theme music was about to start playing.
And I was like, all right, someone who gets engulfed in flames ain't coming back like that. Like, is she like, what is she made of? Is she Jason X? Like,
what's this Child's Play 2?
Maybe they were doing a homage to all the other horror movies. That's another good remake, by the way. Child's Play.
That is
we talking
the new Child's Play?
Yeah, 2019.
Oh man, it wasn't for me, but glad you enjoyed it. I just thought it was whatever. I mean,
I'm not obsessed with it, but I did like the new. They did take swings. They made it different. Again, I don't know why you would.
Well,
do that.
for legality issues, I think there was something to do with. I don't know the whole story of it, but
I mean, I don't understand why you would just want to do a new take on an already made.
That's why they couldn't call him Chucky. That's why his name was Buddy, because Don Mancini had the rights to Chucky.
Yeah. All right.
There was a lot of fuckery going on, and Don Mancini kind of got screwed over. And Don Mancini is the Child's Play franchise, so right away, I was like, fuck you.
But you said you didn't really like the show either, right? You said you watched like 2 episodes and you weren't really into it.
I guess I should finish it. I thought it was okay for the first few that I saw, but
yeah, I had I know we talked about it a little bit, and you said you were going to watch it on YouTube. I have no interest in. I've seen it already.
That's the real Child's Play. That's Don Mancini and Brad Dourif. I mean, that's the team that I'm rooting for. Not.
Yes. Totally. And it's good they got work. It's good they brought Jennifer Tilly back and they have Fiona Dorff. It's like the whole family back. But like, why? Like, what's the point? Like, is it a continuation? Is it a remake? Is it a requel?
What's the point of anything, Doug? What are we doing on this earth? What are we doing right now?
Did you take some fucking mushrooms before this?
Maybe. No, I didn't. This is mushroom tea. No, I'm kidding.
Got this psychopsilocybin tumor.
Be a good day to do something though. I'm kidding. So that's Scream. Any other moments you want to talk about? I mean, I'm snowed in my house today, so I'm not going anywhere. I got plenty of time, baby.
You got to do that rewatch. Maybe torrent the new Scream so you don't have to pay for it in theater.
No, I'd like to go see it in theater. But
I agree. Support the box office. Any more thoughts? I'm trying to go through the movie in my head, like scene by scene, in like rapid fire. I don't know. I just love this movie. The feeling that it gave me, like I was never really. The past couple times I've seen a horror movie in theaters, it never really got me like that. It wasn't a scary movie, but I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what they do next. And I was really on the edge of my seat for this one.
Yeah, well, other than Wes and Judy Hicks, other than their scene, I thought that was the closest thing to a proper suspenseful horror scene. Because they did some cool stuff there, the little camera trickery and faking you out. I thought all that was really well done. That's my favorite sequence of the movie, I think. It could have used more of that. Less talking and more fucking just good, suspenseful sequences. Shut the fuck up. Make up. Quit turning to the camera and be like, well, audience member, this is pretty meta. We're commentating on the current state of the horror genre. Did you know? Wink, wink. Like, yep, got it.
This is a big fucking Looney Tunes red circle, Merry Melodies. That's all, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, I think to your point, if they added more killing and more stuff like that, I think they had a good balance of the kills with the dialogue. But if it was just like no dialogue, I feel like you would have the opposite. You would have been like, I wish they would have talked more.
I don't know. That's kind of what I wanted. That was when we were talking about what do we want out of this movie. I wanted less meta commentary and more seriousness. From the trailer, they made it seem like it was going to be more of a serious horror movie.
More like the tone of Scream 4. You're right. Yeah. They should have delved more. They should have made it more serious. They could have added the same meta stuff, just make the tone more serious rather than comedic, which is what a lot of horror movies are doing nowadays. Like there's no, like give us straight up horror.
Yeah.
It doesn't always need to be a laugh every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
My laptop's going to die in 2 seconds.
Oh, hey, that's cool. Perfect timing.
I'm on 9%. I'm like, I saw the pop-up. It was like, your Mac is going to commit suicide soon.
Hey, it's all good. I think we covered it all. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming back on. It's always a pleasure to have you. Thanks for coming on Hot Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings.
Yes.
Doug thinks I look like Sean Evans, and I don't. But
that should be the side-by-side picture that we post for the Scream review. Just put like both face you and Sean Evans. You look exactly like Sean Evans. Take off your fucking beanie.
So, Doug, we're going to do a deep dive on your Instagram called Explain That Graham.
You kind of sound like him, too. I mean, not really. That's amazing. Dude, that's what I was waiting for. I didn't want to mention it, but
yeah,
it was worth the wait.
I'll intro you in next time, like the Hot One style intro.
Yeah, this camera.
Tell me what you got going on.
You gotta have
Doug, how are you with shitty horror movies?
Oh, I've been around the block here and there. I like to think my palate is pretty solid for that.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Well, Doug, thank you so much for coming on. And
love you, Sean.
Yeah. Right back at you. All right, man. I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.